Hey, Resurrection Church, Pastor Daniel here. Excited to work with you today. In this podcast, we're going to kick off a series of podcasts that we will be working on all year in our fireside chats around the rewrite of our values that we did last year. And the plan this year actually is to spend a great deal of time on fireside chats with our elders, talking to you about application. Now, real quick, a value is a moral theoretical thing. It's a stated thing. It's a doctrinal thing. Maybe it's a convictional thing. But application is the living out. Application is where rubber meets the road. We can talk the talk, but can we walk the walk? And so what I would love to do this year, and I'd love for you to get to participate in, to listen, to learn from, to give us feedback on, and for some of you probably to join us on these podcasts, is we want to take our values that we rolled out to you at the beginning of 2023. And I want to sit down and I want to peel them back. And I want to take a value, something that was at the heart of the elders as we met with the Lord during our elder retreat, and we worked from that point on. And I want to lay it before an elder or a leader in this church, and I want them to tell me how they live that out in their life. What does the application look like at a personal level? And I want you to hear from various elders as they talk to you about their lives, their faith, their walk and journey with the Lord, and how God has shaped them and is shaping them through these values. Now, why is that important to me? A couple things. Number one, let's just talk about the book of James. When you turn to James chapter 1 and you get down to verse 22, James says this. It's one of the most quoted verses or parts of scripture that you're going to hear. It says, but be doers of the word and not just hearers only, deceiving yourselves. It's not enough to simply hear the truth in scripture. You must do it. It's not enough to just hear from the Lord giving you conviction. You have to act on it. It's not enough for the Lord to lead you, prompting you to do something. You must actually do it. It's not enough for you to say that you believe something. You must live it out. In fact, a mentor of mine has said for years, and I've repeated for years, we only believe the parts of the Bible that we live out. You don't really believe something unless you're willing to live like it. And so what I would love to do with you throughout this year is to take one of these values, the identity of growth, or the value of growth, the value of identity, the value of community, parse that out, look at the scriptures that we have included there, sit an elder down and say, brother, share with me what your life looks like here. I want you, the listener, to hear from the life and heart of our elders one by one as we just talk about trying to pursue the Lord in everyday life, in ministry, in workplaces, from refineries to Amazon. And let us share with you how God is moving in our lives and working in our lives. And from that, be encouraged and also be motivated, be stirred up into the good works. That it's our job as believers to stir one another up to good works. And we want to stir you up. I want to stoke the passion and fire for Jesus in your life. So when you hear from Resurrection Church, when you hear from an elder pastor here, my hope is not that you feel bad about yourself. My hope is that you feel even more amazed by Christ and even more grateful that he saved you and that you get to do life with him. So we're going to do that throughout the course of 2023. We're going to open up our values. We're going to open up the Bible, which is where our values are based. I believe someone counted and said there's over 300 verses that are referenced in our value statement that we rolled out. And we're going to sit an elder down in the chair next to me, give them a microphone, and we're going to let them talk through personal, real-time testimonies of what's going on in their life. My hope is that you'll hear these things, and through them, through the testimony of faithful men, you will hear and be encouraged that you too can continue to be transformed by Christ, that he is even greater than we've given him credit for, and that he has even more in store for us than we really thought he had in store for us. I hope you are excited and ready to listen to these stories and testimonies. I'm excited to hear them as we sit each elder down and begin to talk through these things and encourage one another. Thanks for hanging out with me for just a few minutes, guys.